Hey everybody, hope we're all doing well. Just a quick video out there for anyone who is interested. I saw a talking point in the last week or so brought first to light by Decay, as there are these esports panels popping up from time to time, and some of which preach some things which I don't necessarily agree with, but let me stress first off, it is completely up to you guys what you decide to pursue. Whether it be to go to school, to not go to school, what degree you get, that is completely up to your own, circumstance, right? It's very circumstantial, it's very subjective as to how you guys have been raised, what situation you guys grow up in, as to whether or not you choose to do some things over other things. But I think a great point brought up by Decay is the fact that some people out there preach a necessity, a need for some things, which certainly in some cases are not needed. That being Esports Insider, a now deleted post about one of their panels involving esports degrees and why they are maybe needed in the future, which I do inherently disagree with. That being a post which at the point of me recording has not been reposted, but at first was worded, soon, working in esports will require a university degree. Find out what the future will look like, blah, blah, blah. And that is a notion that as of right now, especially in its infancy, esports gaming's been around for quite some time, but still, certainly in its early years, I don't think anytime in the near future you will need an esports degree to have a job in esports. And let me again stress, you guys of course can choose whatever degree you want. I do definitely have a tendency to lean towards, yes, you should have some sort of degree, at least for a backup plan, or at least for a qualification to get a job out there. Certainly a bit more of security is to have some sort of degree to land a job. But again, that's so circumstantial. Even when I say that, there are people out there who don't go to college at all and can land jobs. There are plenty of people out there who do go to college and can't land jobs. That is completely up to you and your own circumstance. When it comes time though, I am living proof of having an esports job with not needing an esports degree, especially right now when these teachers, these councils, these panels out there who are teaching these esports qualifications, a lot of which we have seen are not necessarily even involved in the actual esports or gaming scene. And even if they are likely just as involved as the people that will be taking those classes. And that's what kind of rubs me the wrong way when a few sources out there seem to think you need this degree to get an esports job. I would like to think, no, that is not the case. Now, a lot of people out there do send me DMs of, Jake, how'd you get your job? So let me go into that very quickly and also tell you guys my advice. But again, don't take my advice directly to heart. Think about your own circumstance and what you want to do. When it came time for me throughout my collegiate career, if you want to call it that, throughout my 4 years in college, I was making YouTube videos. I didn't start making gaming esports. It was actually mainly a channel focused on CSGO until my sophomore or junior year. I spent those last 2.5 to 3 years making about a video per day on CSGO content alone. I went to class. I had a double major in marketing and management. I would say I did fairly well as a student, and I'll admit it, that's, easier majors than my smart buddies who were in computer science, so on and so forth. But I had a double major in business related fields while I worked on my own stuff in esports and gaming on the side. And that would be my main recommendation for a lot of people out there that actually DM me and say, Jake, what did you do? Marketing and management both are correlated fields when it comes time for even what I do today or what I could do in the future if this does by some chance, hopefully not work out, right? You need to have a backup plan, and of course your degree, if it can apply to multiple fields, whether it be esports and business or esports and something else, that's probably the safest option in my opinion because it worked out for me. If I had not gotten this job in esports, I was probably going to do okay in a business related field. Yes, finding a job sometimes is not very easy, but I had a double major that both correlated to esports as well as business, which I like doing both of them. When it comes time for marketing myself out there, I think I use a few of those things I learned, and that degree can be used for several different fields. And that is why I would not currently, in the current circumstance, recommend people out there to go all out on an esports degree, because that might not work out. There are plenty of esports organizations out there that might see an esports degree. What does that mean, right? How does that benefit you more in the long run than another business degree as well? For me personally speaking, I think if you want to go towards some degree which also correlates to your own to another field as well as the esports field, that's your best take and your best chance. While on the side, like I did, work on some sort of content you want to do. So many people come to me and say, Jake, when do you start making videos? Jake, I want to write blogs, or I want to be a journalist or a writer, reporter in the actual text stance. Okay, start writing pieces, start making videos. Okay, several people out there want to be social media managers. They want to do design work for teams, whether it's logo work or thumbnail work. Do that work on the side. Build a portfolio for whatever field it might be, whether it's writing blogs, writing articles, making videos, making thumbnails, designing other things, working on your social media posts, make a brand new Twitter account or a social media account and start posting stuff related to gaming and esports. Build yourself a portfolio alongside your degree, whether you choose an esports degree or something related that can actually be used to multiple fields, which is what I would recommend. Use your time wisely. If you are going to pay for education, use your time wisely, because I'm sure many of you guys are well aware, especially you American viewers out there, the education system here in North America is very expensive. It's extremely expensive, and I would hate for all of you guys out there to go full on in to an esports degree, and all of a sudden you graduate and you realize an esports degree, a degree in any field, does not guarantee you a job. But I will say gaming and esports to me is a bit of a different thing, because in your free time, you can also work towards that. You can have a degree in this field or that field and also work towards your esports and gaming knowledge in something completely different. And then you graduate, all of a sudden, you have that degree, so that's your backup plan if you really want to go into esports and gaming, and you have your portfolio of work of stuff you put out there or stuff you have actually learned or garnered in your free time to go towards gaming and esports. You can approach that same esports organization or whatever team you want to approach and try and work for and say, hey, I got my major or my degree in these fields. Here is how it relates to gaming and esports. And oh, by the way, in my free time, here is how I actually used what I learned to actually make stuff in gaming and esports. That is the best way I can put it for you guys right now. There's plenty of people out there who continue to ask me, Jake, how'd you get your start? How'd you do this? I got lucky. I got really lucky. If I had not found this job, guys, I spent 2.5, 3 months looking for a lot of jobs in business. And luckily enough, I got rejected time and time again, just further proving that a degree in business or a degree in any field does not guarantee you squat in most places. I got super lucky. I found this job out there. I had my YouTube channel as my portfolio, and I got the job, and now here I am. I cannot stress enough that I got very lucky. I was 1, maybe 2 denials away from being in a marketing job somewhere or a sales job somewhere. And so I hope one day, maybe this channel will grow big enough to actually hire one of you guys out there. You have to put the time in, though. You have to put the work in. A degree guarantees you nothing. And so that's my full 2 cents. I know I put a tweet out there earlier that maybe does not express my thoughts enough, but hopefully you guys can understand where I'm coming from. At the end of the day, it's totally up to you what to do, but I just would never listen to anyone who says you need this to do this, because I and many others out there are living proof that is not always the case when it comes to the educational system. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys all back here sometime, and I wish you all the best of luck in your grinds. If you guys need some motivation, I'm here for it, okay? Work hard, put the time in, and trust the process. No matter how long it takes, usually something comes of that if you're willing to put the work in.